Hi fam, how are you doing? I hope you're all doing okay. Thank you so much for your support. I do appreciate. We are now road to 3,000 subscribers. So kindly, if you have not subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button and join our family. So in today's video, we are going to comment about the Black Americans, the blacks who went to America. Let me say that. They are trying to tell us, let's stay on our motherland. We all know, most of us have that dream of going to America. I know even when growing up, we all had these dreams that one day I'll go live in America. So they have very nice messages for us. If you are a black, whether from Jamaica, whether from Africa, whether from Haiti, kindly let's listen to this video, then we can come back with more comments. So please, to know what they are talking about, watch till the end. Don't forget to give this video a like, share, comment, and subscribe. So let's come back with more comments.
Guys, everybody is running to Africa right now. Everybody. Everybody's running away from the UK, France, and the US.
Sometimes I ask myself, here in Germany, some people in Africa, they want to sell their house, sell your car, sell your garden, sell your property to get money to go to Europe. People in Africa, yeah, that is people in Africa. People in Europe, they are working to go back to Africa, to build their house, to buy houses, to buy a garden, to buy that, to buy that. So in this world, where it's good.
Everybody is running to Africa right now. Everybody. Everybody's running away from the UK, France, and the US. And the reason is actually quite surprising. Now, I didn't know about this thing called an exit tax. I made a few videos about it if you've seen those videos. But at the end of this month, there is a budget that's being introduced in the UK, a new budget at the end of October. And there's rumors that within this budget, there is a new exit, it's being called an exit tax, but it's basically capital gains adjustment. So capital gains tax already exists, which is a tax on your assets like houses, stocks, any assets that you have, and the profits on those assets. So it's basically the difference between what you originally got it for and what you can sell it for, the value of it at that point of you selling it or leaving. So what they're saying is that they're now going to start taxing people who want to leave the country for good. So if you're trying to leave, the cost of living crisis is happening and you're trying to get out of the country, they're going to tax you. Now, I made the video about this and people started telling me that, hey, by the way, why are you only talking about UK and US? They have the same thing in Canada. Then another person messaged me and said, why are you only talking about, they have the same thing in Germany. I then started looking into it and this thing is everywhere. It already exists. And it's not so much that it's specifically about people leaving the country, but it affects you if you're trying to leave. Those are the people it affects the most. If you're trying to leave the country, you're going to get hit, especially if you haven't had the assets for a long time. So if it's less than a year, you're in big trouble in America, for example. Now, the interesting thing about it is I'm making the Back to Africa handbook. Everybody, if you want to know all of everything you need to know about relocating to Africa, visiting Africa, all of those things, because all the questions that you keep asking me in my DMs about what's the best country for me, how do I get citizenship, schools, healthcare, safety, security, all of that stuff is in the handbook, linked in my profile bio. You go to my profile bio, you'll find it there. That being said, I then realized that, I delayed the release because I want to put all this stuff in there. But the problem is every time that I think that I've got it, I get some new information that then makes me want to say that, wait, I need to add this in. At this point, I think I just have to draw a line in the sand and say, I'm not going to put anything more into this thing. It's already now, it was supposed to be 10 pages. It then went up to 60 pages. Now it's probably going to be like 70 pages. at this point. It's an ebook, so don't worry. Go straight to your email inbox when you get it. But I've got to put this in there. Because the thing is, if you're trying to leave and you've done well for yourself, you have any kind of assets, you're in big trouble. Go to the link in my profile, guys. Check it out. Get on the wait list.
I regret coming to the United
what the topic
States.
is about, and I actually do regret coming to the US. Hear me out. I know that I'm in an amazing PhD program. I have an amazing advisor. I have amazing lab members. I'm advancing my career by being in this PhD program, but I still feel like I regret coming to the US. This is literally the first time I am saying this out. I have always thought about it in my head. I've always talked about it in the shower, but I've never spoken about it outside. I've never told anyone that I regret coming to the United. I think I had this conversation with my dad one time when we were just catching up, and that was. So I'm going to explain. Prior to moving to the United States for my master's program in 2018, I used to run an NGO back in Nigeria called Project 17, where we advocate for sustainable development goals. That was the best thing that happened to me. In fact, I was running Project 17 full-time after I had quit on my job, my full-time job. I had a full-time job, which I only worked for like 2 months. That story for another day. But I started working on Project 17 full-time. In fact, a day before I was coming to the United States, I won an award. Yes, an award based on my work with Project 17. So coming into the US, even I was excited to get my master's. I wanted more knowledge, and I also wanted to advance in my career. But since I got here, I felt like I have lost myself. Prior to coming here, I was so vocal about climate change, climate action. I was also very vocal about achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, which are United Nations goals. But since I got here, I have been a little bit more into my shell. I don't know if that was part of like the new culture and new environment that I find myself in. And why I brought up all this was because I am currently preparing for a program that I had orchestrated and I had planned for my department to celebrate Women's Month this March, which is coming up in next week. And I find myself, having panic attack and thinking, oh my God, are you going to do well or are you going to flop? Is everybody going to see that you're not who you say you are when you were applying to your PhD program? Is your advisor going to be disappointed in you? Those thoughts just keeps flooding my head, and I'm like, you got it. Like, you ran a successful NGO where you were being recognized by the government, the private sector, and all of this, but now you're bothering yourself and you're, having many panic attacks over an event that you're going to moderate. Like, how? I'm not sure if I'm the only one who feels this way or if anyone also feels this way at this.
Here are my least favorite things about living in America. Hi, my name is Johanna. Before you tell me, oh, go back to where you came from, what? I already did a list of my favorite things about living here. Maybe you should go watch it and then come back. Lack of public transport in most cities. I mean, like, even a city as big as New York, the public transport is still not that great. Okay, comparing it to like China, Tokyo, I'm saying is they could do better. Are they doing better? No. Number 2 is the bank. Okay, so I went to open a bank account the other day, right? I go to the bank, I bring my documents and everything, I apply for an account, and then I have to go home and wait for almost a week to get my card. In Uganda, I go to the bank, I open a bank account, and I walk out with my card. If a third world country can figure that out, I think America should do something about that. Number 3 is the consumerism. Okay, listen, I do love me some consumerism. The American side of TikTok, it's a little bit overwhelming with the ads. Like, let's keep calm, please. Number 4 is definitely the food. I mean, I do love the portions, don't get me wrong. All healthy foods, they're very expensive. So I feel like it's really unfair that people end up just eating like cereal. I'm not saying that cereal is unhealthy, but you shouldn't be eating that much sugar. Like, the unhealthy options are cheaper than the healthy options, which I think is kind of like vice versa. Like, in Uganda, processed food is more expensive than the whole food. More about the consumerism. The options are just too much. We do have options around here, but then again, we don't need 1,000 options now, do we? You're more likely to make the wrong choice. Number 5, this may be just like specific for Las Vegas. People here are always ready to sue. The lawyers even have billboards. No fees until you win. Like, what is going on in this country? Our business has been able to survive until this day because everyone is ready to milk a business. We do have some accountability, but should I do it red lip? No, that would be too much, right? This is the finished look. Oh, I just remember one more thing. The me culture. Me.
In this world where it's good. Yeah? Like here me, I'm very okay in Germany. Yeah, before I was saying, I want to go back to Kenya. I want to go buy house. I get my pension. I want to go to Kenya. I want to do that. But life is not like that, how you think. Only God can know you arrive. Only God can plan your life. So sometimes you can sell everything. You come here, you see, you wanted, like there was one man from Kenya. He was working in Afghanistan. And people lied to this man. And the people told this man, you pay money, we bring you to Germany to work. So when this man came here in Germany, after sold everything to pay agent to come here, after he alive here in Germany, oh, no agent. The next step, to take refugee. 3 days this man called me. Say, Alice, I cannot stay here. Alice, I'm going back to Kenya. He was having depression. He don't work. He sold his thing in Kenya. So before you think about selling your things, about leaving that business to come Germany, me, I always say, if you have, if you earn 100 Kenya shillings, if you earn, don't come here. Here you can get money, yeah? Let's say you can get like 1,500 euros. Then you have to pay. Every month you pay. You pay everything, you pay everything. Then you look your pocket. You have something like that Kenya shillings, 40. That is nothing. If you pay everything, you work here. But if you get that money, you pay. Hapa kila kitu pesa. You have to pay. You can see so many people, they are not going back home. Why? Because they work, they have money. But to get that money, to get ticket, and the money to go to use in Africa, they don't have. So what is better in life? What is better in life? What do you think is better? To stay there where you are with your business or your job. If you earn 70,000 plus up, don't come here. Yeah, don't come here. Stay there and eat what you have. If you have a house, you earn small money. Just stay there. Because nowadays you come here, you suffer all to get papers.
Now that you have listened to this video as an African, as one of us from Jamaica or Haiti, what do you think of their advices? Are they good advice? Yes, we all know, and as a black person growing up here in Africa, we always have those dreams of one day visiting Africa. And in this video, you can hear that they are telling us people will sell their cars because getting visa to just go to the United States or to the US, to Canada, to those countries, it's really expensive. You have to have visa, you have to have the air ticket. So you see, it's really expensive. So maybe when I get that chance, I'll have to sell my car, I'll sell my land. If I have kettles, maybe I do kettle keeping. Yeah, you see, I'll have to sell those things to make my dream of going to the America. But they're trying to give us a very good advice. We will sell our houses. Yeah, we end up selling the house because I've told you it's really expensive. If you don't have anyone maybe to support you to go to America, you'll have to sell those things. So they're trying to tell us, for them who are there, they are in Germany, America, Canada, Finland. Most of them have a dream of coming to Africa, have that business, and start their life here in Africa. And for us here, we have a dream of selling our things, then we go and start our lives over there. So this lady is trying to ask us, do we really get satisfied? Yeah, I think it's good to have both experiences. Yeah, I have to experience both. I'll say, hey, I try this, I try this. Yeah. For them, they have experienced that. So it will be good if they come back to Africa. But for me, I've never experienced it. I'll be like, I have to go to America and try life there. So you see, I'll have to sell that. But they are telling us, even this lady is trying to tell us that she really regrets a lot because she used to own an NGO where she was running it very smoothly, but she had to close it down. You see, if you have business, you have to close it down. If you don't have someone to trust with the business, such things do happen. But what do you think of these advices? You as a person, you have listened to this video up to the end. What do you think? What is the best thing that you can do? Yes, they're trying to warn us. Even this lady is telling us, with the food, it's really, really expensive to get organic food, the organic food that you are living here in Africa. And you know, funny thing, here organic food is very, very cheap, very affordable. You can also get it from your farm if you don't want to buy. Maybe if you are not living in urban areas, you just get it straight from your farm. Like us in our village, we plant like everything. Maybe a time that we buy, maybe if you want meat, silverfish, yeah. So you see, but most food we just get it from our farm. 99% organic. Let me say 99% or 99.9% organic. Then this fast food, it's really, really expensive here. Before I buy a KFC, they'll say I'm very, very rich, you see. But in America, the organic food is very expensive, and the fast food is very, very cheap. You see, people live on cereals, on these fast food, so the organic food is really, really expensive. So she's trying to tell us, just stay in Africa and have your organic food. What do you think about that? Should we just stay or should we move to America, then we can buy? What are your thoughts about that? Another thing that she's also trying to tell us is about the banks, because she's telling us, I think she's from Uganda, because she said in Uganda, when you go to a bank, you'll just register, then you'll come out with your card the same day. But there, I think it takes time. And if this is a third world country and that is a first world country, so they also have to rectify that. What are your thoughts about that? Another thing that she also talked about is the transport system. She said that the public transport system is really, really bad. And by the way, you know, when you are in America and you don't have a car, because I heard that public transport is really, really hard most of the time to get it. So you have to have your own car. Yeah. So she was saying in New York, the public transport is really, really bad compared to the public transport here in Africa. Most of us here in Africa, we don't have cars. We don't own our cars. So we have to use public transport. And she says African public transport is the best. Because when I go to Kisumu, I'll get public transport. Anywhere that I go, I'll have to use public transport. That is if I don't have a car. And most of us here, we don't own cars. Like for me, I don't have it. So a lot of us use public transport. But you see in America, a lot of people own cars. So it's really, really hard to get public transport. And when you get it, I think she says something like the treatment is not okay. So what do you think about this? In every comment that these people have made, what do you think about the comments? What do you think about the advice? Is it a good advice? Should we step back and not go to America? Because I know we all have that dream. We all have that dream that one, hey, people here live good life. And also about the social life, she also talked about the social life. You see, here in Africa, guys, I think social life is 100% good. The way we socialize out here, you'll get your neighbor, we get to know our neighbors. Like in my village, I know like 90% of everyone there. I know this one come from here, this one come from here, this one come from here. So it's really, really hard to pass someone without saying hi. That's when in the village you'll say hello, 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 like you're telling like everyone hello, because you know them and they know you. But there, even your neighbor, it's really, really hard even to know your neighbor. And I think with that one, they have to change. You have to say hello to your neighbor, guys. Yes, so that was it. I hope you have watched this video till this end and you have learned something. Right now, I just want to tell you, bye. We are going to meet in the next video. So kindly give this video a like before you go and subscribe to the channel. Bye.